Immediately, I indicated interest to be a member of the Black Axe confraternity. Boom! That was it. I turned into an ATM machine automatically. They call it suffocation and I was called ITJ. I was suffocated to a point I had regret, but waiting man start, he must finish am. My CGPA dropped drastically, and the moment they knew I was an aspiring member, they started flocking to my place to eat morning, afternoon and night. The man that was supposed to take me for initiation called me quietly and said I shouldn't give them food or money again, that they are hungry ayes. Jeez, wetin I don put myself into. They turned me into a Nigerian brewery. I purchased all kinds of drinks for them. They called it Jew Shack. I purchased beer, Monkey Tail and Red Label and all sorts of assorted drinks. They called me to meet them at a popular bar known as Angle 90 and I go there and meet them and they order drinks for me to pay. Half of my school fees will go into drinks and food for them. I had a complete TV and DVD set at home and I didn't even lose them to Vikings, but I lost them to the Black Axe members. Immediately I indicated interest to be a member. I started asking myself, is this how they live their lives as cultists? My friend was a great psychologist and he studied every move I made and he contoured them. No worry, na so e dey be. After you fall out, all these things go stop, he uttered. I felt relieved and after all this go stop soon. I urged him to please make the decision come fast as I was running out of cash and the suffocation was so much as I need to blend and be among so I could be free. I sat down waiting for my friend to call me for initiation ceremony and like the coming of Christ, I waited for the day to come, but unlike the coming of Christ, the day came sooner than expected. I got a call from my friend and on a Monday morning, he told me the initiation was on Saturday and that I should buy a white singlet and boxer down. I went out and purchased the items. Later, I got a call on Thursday instructing me to remain in Abraka and they will come get me on Friday. I waited on Friday and no one came around. I then got a call on Saturday around 12 noon that I should meet them at the popular Angle 90 bar. I got there and I saw different men sitting down and staring at me with anger and bitterness. I greeted them and they all echoed, "Who be this man?" Then my friend that was supposed to take me for initiation echoed out, "Abeg, na my ITJ be that." I felt relieved that he came to my rescue. Then I was ordered to get drinks for them, which I did. I was then told to take a bottle of drink and forget. I took a bottle of small stout to relieve my stress. One of them came to me and said, "No worry, all of us pass through this process, nothing go happen to you. We no die, so you sef no go die." My heart pounded fast. I murmured within myself, am I really going for life and death journey? The time came and we were asked to start moving and we got up and started the movement. I followed my friend who stopped the bike and we took the bike to a lonely bush path. The bike stopped and we came down and continued on foot. I didn't hear a shit and the path was quiet and lonely. We saw a guy who walked past us and he was one of the eyes sent to check if something was happening or police was coming. It is considered a blip up if police should interfere with an initiation process. It might lead to rebellion and all the members in office will be asked to step down and the process of police interfering can be bloody, as the one with guns at the initiation ground may shoot directly at policemen and the policemen may respond by killing someone of the cultists, causing pain and grief to their families back at home and loved ones. Some of them struggle so hard to send those children to school and they just end up their lives in cult-related issues. We got to an open field where we saw some group of men standing and facing the bush. They were all lined up and I was asked to face the bush. There were close to 40 of them and I was asked to pull off my shirt and trousers and join them. I pulled off my shirt and trousers and stood with the 40 intending members just like me, and I am sure they also had their own stories to tell, just like I had mine. I joined the remaining aspiring members and we faced the bush path. After some time, we were asked to move in an assembly fashion, like the slave trade movement, but instead of the metal chains used in real slavery, we were asked to put our hands on each other's shoulders and move in a uniform fashion. As we moved, cult members echoed "Ju Ju Ju," aspiring members echoed out "Sa Sa Sa." The process of screaming "Ju Ju Ju" and "Sa Sa Sa" continued as we marched on. I heard signs of cassava stems and huge branches of trees cracking up. I raised up my head and saw each of the cultists following us holding a stem each. Immediately, I received a painful flog directly on my bare back. "You dey craze? Who say make you carry your head up? Immediately, my friend who took me for the initiation became angry and almost fought the guy who flogged me. Immediately I started crying and the thought to run away came into my mind, but I had to face the consequences. If I die tonight, my family may not even know my whereabouts. We were then asked to stop, and a guy came around with a piece of paper to take down our names and departments. We then continued our journey. We continued until we got to an open field and we were told to lie down. Suddenly, I saw a fearfully looking guy with a red regalia. I looked closely and guess what, guys? It was my friend in the same department. Let's call him Kelvin for the purpose of this video. I echoed his name, Kelvin. Kelvin, na me, Frank. Immediately, the other cultist pounced on me. You the Chris? Call him Bros Kelvin. I was stubborn and immediately I saw a double-barrel shotgun facing my end. I then shouted, Bros, Chairman, Kevin. They all laughed at me and called me Jew. I then heard, after 00 hours, make mending start. We were told to lie down and suddenly we started receiving flogging on our asses. Then I saw someone putting on a black regalia and he came to where we were being flogged and echoed out, no back mending, meaning they should not flog us on our backs. We received floggings on our asses for close to 4 hours. Do you understand what it means to receive constant lashing on a particular spot for about 4 hours? I did for 5 hours. My fellow Jew mate close to me pulled on himself, smelling poo. Another Jew guy was shouting he was sick and they overlooked. They became very angry thinking the man was pretending. They dragged him out to the center and focused on him while others focused on us. The next thing I heard was, the Jew don't let go. You know they move again. Then one of them came around and shot his double barrel at the dead man to confirm if he was dead. Immediately, they carried him away, deep down into the bush. Then the man with the black regalia echoed out, Shebi una see that man we die. If Jew misbehave, you go join that man we die. This immediately sent cool sensation down my spine. The place where we put our shirt is called angle 90. The process we started movement, holding our shoulders and responding to Ju, sa is known as slave trade. The place where we were asked to lie down is known as Jew camp. The process of flogging continued for hours with no end in sight. We were deep inside the forest and even if we wailed and called out for help, no help came. The terms used in flogging us is known as genet. The process of flogging us is also known as genetting. But the word genet and genetting is only used for strong men, and since we were still Jew undergoing initiation process, the process of flogging us was actually known as Jew mending. My friend came to the Jew camp and called out to my name. Frank, where you dey? I replied in a weak and loyal voice. I dey here, bros. He came towards me and touched my ass and saw it was swollen. He laughed and said, Shebi you dey feel am? I replied in a weaker tone. Yes, bros. He said to me, all of us passed through am. He then sat on my ass to make sure I did not receive further mending. I felt relieved at last, at least for 3 minutes. Then the man in black regalia came back into the Jew camp and instructed as follows. If you know say you no be butcher, abeg comot from my camp. The butchers are the ones in charge of Jew mending. Then my friend got up and left me alone. I raised my head and suddenly I saw a huge stem coming towards my ass. At this point, my ass busted with blood all over. Instead of crying, I just laughed out loud and they were angry. Who be that man with the laugh? I heard a gunshot close to my head. The guy had aimed close to my head to scare me. I was still laughing and suddenly, the guy that threatened to shoot me asked me to turn around and open my mouth. I did, and then I saw him bringing out his penis and was about urinating into my mouth, and suddenly, my friend rushed into the camp and fight started. He became angry as he was also a former axe head and so he should be given respect. Why you want peace for him mouth? Now so them do you when you bam? They argued out and they started exchanging heated arguments. Then the man in black regalia came up and asked them to pause the Jew mending as it was time for procession. We were asked to get up and lie down in a different section of the Jew camp, and I saw some men holding candles and insecticide. The insecticide was to blow out flame from the candle and they walked on our asses. As they walked, they sang, all axemen are coming, make you give them their way. I hear axemen, make you give them their way. Your mama no dey for here, your papa no dey for here. I hear axemen, make you give them their way. The song was repeated as they walked on our asses. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the final episode and don't forget to subscribe, share and comment.